story of the day, with the no peace deal in sight as far as the ongoing US-Iran conflict is concerned, pressure appears to be mounting on US President Donald Trump, and it's reflecting in his stance as well. In a strongly worded post on social media, Donald Trump questions Iran leadership. He said that the country is having a hard time figuring out their leadership and is pointing to the infighting between the hardliners and the moderators. He also claimed that we have a total control of the Strait of Hormuz. No ship can enter or leave without the US approval, warning that the key waterway will remain shut until Iran agrees to make a deal with the United States. On that, we have a statement coming in from Donald Trump, a recent one in which he has said that he has told reporters that he will not rush a peace deal when pressed on the timeline for ending the war. And remember, this comes a day after he said that he has no time frame in mind, that he has decided on when to end the war. And in the latest, he has said that he will not be rushing to make a peace deal with Iran when the reporters pressed him to give a timeline for ending the war with Iran. He said, and I quote, "I do not want to rush it because right now you guys are trying to make us look bad as possible." He went on to say that I want to take my time. I have plenty of time and I want to get a great deal with Iran. Listen into what he said.
Say to the American people who question how much longer this will take, obviously, you know that they are having
You're such a disgrace. Did you hear what I just said? Vietnam. How many years was Vietnam?
I understand, sir.
How many years was Vietnam? Well, I did my I took the country out militarily in the first 4 weeks. I took it out militarily. Now all we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily with the other 25% of the targets. We've hit 78% of the targets that we've wanted to hit. We've knocked out their manufacturing. We've knocked out their missile production. We've knocked out their drone production. We've knocked out everything. In some cases, when I say knocked it out, 70, 80, 90%. It's amazing what we've done. So I've done that within that period of time that I mentioned, but I don't want to rush myself, you know, because every story says, oh, Trump is under time pressure. I'm not. No. You know who's under time pressure? They are.
If you need more time, does that mean Americans should anticipate spending more on gasoline for the foreseeable future?
For a little while. And you know what they get?
All right, so you just heard US President Donald Trump. He said that he's under no pressure to end the war with Iran, though time is limited for Iran, is what he has gone on to say. On that, let me bring in our consulting editor, Srinjoy Chaudhary. Good morning, Srinjoy. No timeline has been given by Donald Trump when to end the war. And this is in contrast with what he has been saying in the last 2 months, that the war is going to end in 4 to 5 weeks. But now he's saying that he has no fixed timeline. In fact, yesterday, he has said that he has not decided any timeline on when to end the war with Iran. He will be waiting for the peace deal to strike between the two countries.
Yes, and there was a comparison with Vietnam, which lasted virtually half the 60s and till the early 70s. That's like 7, 8 years. So here, Trump says, we've only done this 40 days, and Vietnam lasted 6, 7 years. That's the point he's making. This, of course, is the second reference to Vietnam. A long, very difficult, challenging war for the United States. And if you remember, in the past, the American president had said we'd bomb Iran into the Stone Age, which was a reference to what, similar to what Lyndon Johnson's people had said about Vietnam in the late 60s. But he now says the war could go on for a long time. He's hit 70, 80% of all targets, 78%. And if Iran still continues to be defiant, which it is, he believes that he can go back and hit the remaining 22%. Now, how this will pan out, what the president will say tomorrow, we are not sure. But at this point, he believes that he has time on his hands.
Right.
He is waiting for Iran to take the next step. And if Iran doesn't take the next step, he is going to knock out the remaining 22% of the targets he has in mind.
Absolutely, and that is what he has said. And amid all this, in fact, the Hormuz blockade continues. Donald Trump has given orders to shoot and kill any Iranian boats placing sea mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And on the other side, Iran side has said that they will not resume the talks until the naval blockade is lifted. Stay on with us. We have another breaking update coming in. Another statement that is coming from Donald Trump, where he has ruled out the use of the nuclear strikes. He said that he wouldn't use it when asked about the nuclear strikes, saying that Iran is running out of time. Addressing reporters at the White House, Donald Trump said that there was no justification for deploying the nuclear arms. He maintained that Iran has already been decimated through conventional means and stressed that such weapons should never be used.
They're delaying it because we don't know who to deal with. They are in, they know who the leader is in this country. We don't know who the leader is in Iran. Because remember, regime change. Khomeini is gone. He's gone to greener pastures. He's gone, and all of his team is gone. Then a second group came in. They're all gone. And now you have the third group, and they're a little concerned about being gone, too.
Sir, would you use a nuclear weapon against Iran? You posted on Truth Social a few weeks ago.
We don't need it. Why do I need it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked? Why would I use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
All right, going back to my colleague Srinjoy on this. Srinjoy, Donald Trump clearly saying that he will not be using the nuclear strike there. But tell us, what is the situation on the ground? Because the ceasefire has been extended. The naval blockade continues. Peace talks are not happening between the two countries. But there is a respite because attacks have also stopped as far as both the countries and the Gulf region are concerned. What is the latest on that?
There is breathing space. Both countries have decided that this is a time for a ceasefire. So the ceasefire persists. And it's an unlikely ceasefire in some ways, but nevertheless a ceasefire is a ceasefire. We have to live with a ceasefire, however difficult it is, however fragile it is, regardless of anything, because there's been 40 days of fighting before that. The point is, this fragile ceasefire persists, and let's hope it does. Meanwhile, President Trump says he doesn't have to make a deal now. He believes that the deal can be made when Iran is ready, and he believes since the top leadership, the second rung, all been wiped out, he believes that there is a leadership vacuum of some kind.
All right.
The third rung of leaders have to decide what to do and how to do things, and only then can he speak with people.
All right, stay on with us. Let me tell our viewers more about what is happening there as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned. As the US-Iran truce talks, they have stalled. Tensions in the Strait of Hormuz are only getting sharper by the day. US President Donald Trump, in the latest, has issued a fresh warning. He has escalated the warning around one of the world's most critical shipping routes. Now, he has said that he has ordered the US Navy to shoot and kill any boats laying mine in the Strait of Hormuz. Yet another direct threat that has come in from Donald Trump that could possibly escalate the escalation in that key waterway and stall the negotiation further. Let me take you through what actually Donald Trump has said as far as this particular statement is concerned. He has said that when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, there is a naval blockade in place. He will shoot any boat laying mines there at that particular waterway. There's no hesitation in opening fire in that critical waterway. We've already sunk 159 Iranian ships, is something that he has posted on social media. Our minesweepers are clearing the Strait of Hormuz, and that remains the key priority as far as US is concerned. They want to remove all the sea mines. They are holding that naval blockade. They're not allowing the Iranian ships from leaving this Iranian ports, is what we are learning. And that is the latest as far as Donald Trump is concerned, and the naval blockade there in the Strait of Hormuz. On that, we have another breaking update coming in, another statement that is coming from Donald Trump, as he has claimed that 100% effective blockade has been put in place in the Strait of Hormuz. No business claim against Iran. Donald Trump has said that US has hit Iran's economy, and they have economically also blockaded Iran as well. And this is the statement that is coming in from Trump. He has said that we have a blockade that is 100% effective. They are getting no business and are not doing well economically and financially because of this. All right, let me go back to my colleague Srinjoy on this. Srinjoy, tell us more about what is happening there as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned, because Donald Trump in the latest threat has said that he will be attacking the ships, the smaller ships that are laying mines there in that key waterway. How is that in a way escalating the situation in the Strait of Hormuz? Because Iran has made it quite clear that they will also not be reopening that key waterway until the naval blockade is removed by US.
In a sense, Iran doesn't have to lay mines in the Strait of Hormuz for one reason. The strait is so narrow that if they have to block any ships going in and out, then they can always fire at those ships. Even if there's a huge tanker going through, carrying lots and lots of tons of crude oil, all it needs is an anti-ship missile. Or, as you saw with the Indian ships, even small arms fire can be very potentially dangerous. Now, there are really two blockades here. The first blockade is by the president, by Donald Trump and America, and the American Navy has blockaded all the Iranian ports. That's one blockade. The second blockade is of the Strait of Hormuz. Now that's a very narrow strait, and that is something, geography really has been weaponized by the Iranians. They see the strait as very narrow. This is the only way crude oil and also natural gas from all these countries, these Gulf states, whether it's the UAE, whether it's Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, all these countries can go through most of the time. Now, the Iranians see it, that these Gulf states are allies of America. Now, if the Strait of Hormuz is blocked with mines or even with a threat that if you try to go through, we'll fire at you. And that has happened quite a few times. The Iranians have fired at ships, at tankers, at cargo ships going through. Once firings begin, then what happens is that all these ships, the ship owners, the captains, they get very careful. They don't want their ships in the line of fire. These ships are valuable, the cargo is valuable. Why would they risk these ships and, more importantly, the lives of their crew? So they automatically don't use the Strait of Hormuz.
Absolutely. And now the bigger question is, will there be escalation in the coming days? Because now Donald Trump has said that he has directed the US Navy to hit the ships, the smaller ships that are laying mine there as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned.